Labor Day is traditionally the unofficial start to election season, and today candidates are picking up the pace. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton will make 2 television appearances this week, one on Ellen and another on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. Former Florida Governor Jeb Bush will be one of the first guests on the new Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
White House hopefuls pounded the pavement this Labor Day, and as Nancy Cordes reports, they were working hard not to step on one another as well.
No one worked harder this Labor Day than the presidential candidates, including the new Democratic frontrunner in New Hampshire, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, who leads Clinton by 11 points.
I said, wow.
Even Sanders seemed a little surprised. How do you explain this huge shift in just a couple of months?
People are saying, you know, he's right. Maybe we do have to deal with income and wealth inequality.
His potential rival, Vice President Joe Biden, hit a parade in Pittsburgh.
Hey, folks, how are you?
With all the energy of a new candidate. Though he still wouldn't say if he's running.
You got to talk to my wife about that. I've got to talk to my wife about that.
Clinton campaigned in Iowa, where she still has an edge.
I am a true Democrat. I believe that our values are the right ones for America, and I'm going to fight for them.
Rally for America!
The rest of the pack also rallied crowds, marched, and kissed babies.
What a beautiful little boy.
That's Ohio Governor John Kasich.
You're probably used to spending Labor Day in Ohio.
Yeah, usually like playing golf, but, you know, that's out the window these days.
In Conway, New Hampshire, Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker found a way to combine campaigning with his favorite pastime.
I want to wish you the best of luck, sir.
Thank you.
Godspeed.
In fact, New Hampshire was crawling with so many candidates, they kept bumping into each other and their supporters.
Tell Bernie Lindsay said hello.
There you go.
50 feet away, businesswoman Carly Fiorina.
Are you up for 14 more months of this?
Oh, you know, this is pretty fun. Yeah, I'm up for 14 more months of this.
Are you guys up for 14 more months?
Yeah! And Nancy Cordes joins us now from Nashua, New Hampshire. Hey, Nancy. So you said that in your piece there, you say it was crawling with candidates over in New Hampshire, but there was one candidate who wasn't there, Donald Trump.
That's right. He was probably doing what most Americans do on Labor Day, which is enjoy the holiday. Donald Trump does write his own rules. When tradition dictates one thing, he usually does another. But we will be seeing him this week. He's going to be in Washington tomorrow with Texas Senator Ted Cruz speaking at a rally against the president's new Iran deal. So he may have been keeping a low profile yesterday, but he never does that for long.
Well, Nancy, Jeb Bush and Hillary Clinton, as you know, had solid leads in the polls in New Hampshire in June. And now Sanders and Trump are the respective frontrunners. What do you make of that change?
You know, I think that voters here and elsewhere are hungering right now for authenticity. We're still a ways out from the campaign. Sanders is really speaking to the base of his party, to Democrats who feel that there's this growing gap among the haves and the have-nots in this country. This is something that he feels wholeheartedly, and he doesn't really try to modify his message in any way, whereas Hillary Clinton is sort of playing the long game. So she's courting Democrats, to be sure, but she's also keeping in mind that she would need to win over independents in a general election. So Sanders' message is really catching fire here, and of course it doesn't hurt that he's from neighboring Vermont, so they know him pretty well here. As for Trump, you know, I think that his rise has mystified his opponents as well, including one who I spoke to yesterday who described Trump's foreign policy as gibberish. Normally a candidate wouldn't be able to get away with saying, you know, I don't know that much about foreign leaders or foreign groups, but I'll know that by the time I'm president. But, you know, the normal rules don't always apply to Donald Trump.
Yeah, well, you know, Sarah Palin said they're looking for a president, not somebody who can do well at Trivial Pursuit. But, Nancy, I got to ask you about Biden. We saw the vice president in your piece sort of glad-handing the crowd. He laughed off questions as to whether or not he's running. What are your sources telling you?
Well, you know, I thought it was very interesting that when he was there in Pittsburgh and another time, just in the past week, he went out of his way to praise Bernie Sanders, saying he's doing a heck of a job. He wasn't prompted to say that. He wasn't asked about Bernie Sanders. He came out with it on his own, and he didn't say anything about Hillary Clinton. And that tells me two things. First of all, he does see Clinton still, despite what the polls say here in New Hampshire, as his primary opponent if he does get into the race. And also, he sees Sanders' supporters as potentially ripe for the picking. Sanders has a lot of new supporters who have swung his way, and clearly Biden thinks that he might be able to pick some of them off if he runs for president. So he's courting those supporters now.
We know you'll be watching it all. Nancy Cordes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Nancy, thank you.
You're welcome.